And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get your signatures and your initials into the software. There's an easy way to do that. One easy way to get your signature and your initials into the software and sized correctly is to take a picture, of your signature on a clean white piece of paper with your smartphone, and take a picture of your initials as well. And email your initials and your signature to support@homegauge.com. Someone from our support staff will size them correctly so they work well with HomeGauge. They'll respond with an email with some easy instructions on how to get them into your software. We're going to go over all that right now, but I just wanted to let you know, if you do feel like you need to send in your signature and your initials, feel free. Again, that email is support@homegauge.com. For those of you that want a little bit of a challenge, you can size your signature and your initials using your own computer. It's not too difficult, and I'll take you through that. Every computer comes with a program called Paint. In Paint, you can resize things and modify, make simple modifications to an image. So you can still take a picture with your phone on a nice clean piece of paper, and email it to yourself or transfer the file onto your computer. Some folks actually like to take a pen and paper and they might scan it and then send that scan to themselves and get that image onto their computer. Once you have your image on your computer, you'll go ahead and open up Paint. If you don't know where it is on your computer, you can always search for it. Windows 10 has a Cortana box. You can just put Paint in there and it'll pull right up. Or on this computer, we have the little magnifying glass here, and we can pull up Paint. And that's what it looks like. So I have my initials and my signature on this computer already that I saved and I had sent to myself. I'm going to open those up. So you can either open up Paint and go to File and then click on Open. And it will open up a window where you can navigate to wherever you saved that image. I saved mine on the desktop for easy access. So desktop, use the initials. And I'm going to select Open. Oh, there we go. It just took a minute. So that's my initials. And I'm going to rotate it. So up here, there's a little rotate. I'm going to rotate it to the right 90. Oh, rotated it the wrong direction. So we're just going to go around in a circle here, and it's reading the correct way. You can crop if you want. You can resize. For this, I'm actually just going to go in here and I'm just going to select the resize. And when you resize your signature, you're going to select pixels. A good thing to resize, I like to do 200. That's a good width. So if you put 200 in and then select OK, you have your signature there. And then you can also move it around. I'm going to actually just kind of make the canvas size a little bit smaller here. I'm making it a little bit longer so that my signature or my initials doesn't really get squished on the document and it stays the same size. So now I'm pretty happy with what I have. I'm going to go here and I'm going to say File. I'm going to do a Save As. If for some reason you're not saved as a JPEG, if you do Save As, you can always have your options here. Make sure to save it as a JPEG. And it opens up a window where I can navigate where I'd like it to be saved. The ideal place to save your signature for future reference is to go to your Documents folder under this PC and find your HomeGauge Documents folder. Your HomeGauge Documents folder could be in other places depending on your computer, but most people have it under Documents, HomeGauge, and we recommend saving your signature and your initials in references. I already actually have some in here, but I'm going to resave a different version. All right, so there we go. Now I have to get my signature in. You'll see my signature file down here at the bottom left. Another way that you can always open up Paint too is you can do a right click on the image that you want to open, and instead of opening straight from Paint, you can select Open With, and it gives you different options here, and Paint is right there, and now it opens ready to go in Paint. We're going to go up here to the Rotate tool, and we're going to rotate it to the left 90 degrees. And then I'm going to actually expand this just a little bit. And then I'm going to resize it. And again, to resize, you go here to resize. You'll switch it to pixels. And then I'm just going to put 200 right here, and it will kind of auto adjust the vertical amount as well. And there we go. And I'm actually just going to crop that up just a dash as well. Okay, so now I'm going to hit save, save as. Definitely want to save it as a JPEG. And then from this window, I'm going to go to my documents, HomeGauge, and then references. Okay, so now I've got my signature saved. I will show you, for those folks that might have like a Surface Pro or a stylus pen, another easy way where you don't actually have to take a picture of it or scan it is just to do a signature right on your computer. And you can actually, you can go to Paint, and it's easy as just, you know, getting your stylus up and ready to go and doing your signature that way. I'm not the best at doing paint like this, but if you had one of those stylus pens, it would be pretty nifty and pretty easy to do as well. And then once you have the signature that you like or the initials, you just do the same thing with doing the resize and setting it to the right size and saving it to your references file. Okay, so now that we have signatures and initials ready to go, the file sized correctly, you just have to add them to the software. And to do that, open up HomeGauge. I'm just going to actually, this is what HomeGauge would look like if you opened it up. And what you'll do is you'll go to this top left corner and you're going to click on File, and then you're going to click on Printing Options. Printing options is an area of the software where HomeGauge knows that you're making some modifications to anything in this window. So if you notice down at the bottom left corner right here, Save Settings as Default for Future Reports is grayed out, and there's a check in the box next to it. That's indicating that anything you do right now in this window will get saved for future reports. So that's why we're in File. I'll just go back up there one more time. File, Printing Options. We know we're making some changes, so it's just automatically selected this for us. From this window, you're going to go up to Logos. Everybody should have their company logo in spot 1. If you do not, feel free to watch our beginning webinar on how to use HomeGauge. We go over that there. So now we're going to actually add the signature and the initials in. So first we're going to go to logo number 4. This is the ideal spot. This is what we tell people to do for the most part, unless they have tons of different badges and images. You could also put it in a different area. But by default, we've got it set for signature to go in spot number 4 and initials to go in spot number 5. So what you do is you highlight logo number 4 here, and then you can either click on this gray box or click on the wrench icon over here. Either will take you to the same spot. And it opens up a window to your computer where you can navigate to your HomeGauge references folder where you saved your signature and your initials. So I'm going to go to Documents, HomeGauge, References. There I go. I've got my signature here. I'm going to select that and select Open. No, there we go. It just took a second. And then I'm going to go to the spot number 5. I'm going to do the same thing. Click on the gray box. Go to Documents, HomeGauge, References, and then I'm going to select my initials. Fantastic. So now we have our signature and our initials in the correct logo spots. Now we'll select OK. The next step is to go up to Options. From Options, go to Form Options. When you click on Form Options, make sure there's a check in this box right here for Signature Logo 1. Make sure there's a check there. If there's not, select it. Same with over here. Make sure there's a check there as well. It should automatically be defaulted to have a number 4 here, and you should see your signature. Same with number 5 and your initials. But if for some reason a different number is here, that's fine. You can use these arrows to navigate to whatever the other number is. If you have your signature or your initials in a different spot, just use the arrows to get to that spot till you see your signature here and initials here. And then you'll select OK. The next step is to go to your cover page. In HomeGauge, for the cover page, at the bottom, we have it kind of set by default where it's going to pull in various print logos 2 through 10, I believe. So you'll want to actually delete that line out if you haven't already. It's pretty simple to do. Otherwise, your signature and your initials will appear on your cover page. You'll go to Office, go to Edit Report Docs. From this window, you're going to select Cover. Some people might have a custom cover page that they made. If you do, you would know it, and you would see a specific name here. But most folks just use the regular cover page, and then you'll select OK. This is what the cover page looks like. Everything is a merge field for the most part, so anything with an asterisk on either side is going to automatically populate certain things, like print logo 1 is the spot for your company logo. Right here, it's going to automatically populate your customer's name, and so on and so forth. What we'll do, because we added 2 more images to logo number 4 and 5, we're going to highlight this line down here and then select Delete. That way, our signature and our initials do not appear on our cover page. Once that's done, go up here, you can hit the little save icon. If for some reason you forget, no big deal, because you're going to be prompted to save this anyways as soon as you close out. So if you hit the X up the top right corner, HomeGauge always says, do you want to save the current file? And you'll say yes. All right, folks, the hard part is over. Now we're going to show you how to actually use the forms with HomeGauge. So you can do a WinMid or a 4-point or any of the forms without actually doing a home inspection report. A lot of times this is the case. So we'll begin there with just a WinMid or a 4-point that doesn't actually have a home inspection attached. So first we're going to actually just begin a report, and you'll just go to New, and you'll start filling out the customer and the report info. To save time, I've already started a report, so I'm actually going to go to Open. And I've got this report here for Fran. I select Open, and I've already got her details filled out here for her customer. For report info, I've got the address filled out and my report ID. Definitely use report IDs, people. It's a great thing. It's a good identifier, especially if you're going to be uploading multiple documents. Having a report ID is what's going to link them all underneath the same header on your dashboard. So again, you go to New Report, complete customer information on the left-hand side here and in this front panel. Go to Report Info, complete the report info, and then we'll go to Miscellaneous. This is where you'll notice there are no attachments just yet, but we will be attaching the forms. You might go to the invoice part and you might price out your WinMid or your 4-point. By default, I don't see a WinMid or a 4-point invoice item here. They're very simple to create. If you don't have one yet, it's pretty easy. You can actually just go over to this plus sign here and select WinMid and 4-point. So I've got a service name all ready to go. My price is going to be $175. And then I'm going to select OK. And anytime you add something in HomeGauge, it always kind of pops it at the bottom. So now I have a WinMid and a 4-point invoice item ready to go. I'm going to put an X next to that so it actually totals up for me in my invoice and shows up. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move on to Forms. The Forms tab is all the way at the end here. So you'll click on that. Oh, HomeGauge is also asking me if I would like to save this invoice change for future reports. And I'm going to say yes, because I plan on doing lots of WinMids and 4-points. So now we've clicked on the tab up here that says Forms. And it's got a little icon of a PDF right to the left of it, because all the forms are done. They output to PDF automatically. To add a form, it's as simple as clicking on the orange plus sign. Now we're going to have to select what type of form we want to add. We have a couple options here. We've got all of your state Florida forms that come with the software. The most popular ones, I'll just open up one of them. The Citizens 4-point seems to be really popular, at least from a HomeGauge support side. People call in and use that quite frequently. So I'm going to highlight Citizens 4-point, but you'll notice there's a bunch of other ones. Energy Star, Fabi 4-point, maybe that's your preference. You can always use that. We've got the roof conditions, we've got wind mitigation, and then we've got the InterNACHI 4-point as well. There's a picture page option as well. And we also have additional comments. Those are separate pages that I'll show you how to use in just a moment. So to begin a Citizens 4-point, I'm going to highlight that and then select OK. And here is the form that you see and fill out. It shouldn't look anything, it shouldn't be a surprise. It should look very similar to what you're typically used to looking at. But even more so, if you click on the Print Preview button, this is what your customer sees. So this is what they'll actually see in a PDF. Print Preview pulls up the actual PDF document, and you'll notice it's already populated Fran's name, so your customer's name, the address, the date. If you scroll down a little bit, this is just the blank form. But you'll notice my signature's here, the date's there as well. And there's the other information that comes with the form. That's the print preview of pretty much the blank form with some of the customer's information auto-populated. So I'm going to close it back and go back to the actual area where you fill out and complete the form as the inspector. Anything that has an asterisk on either side, you'll want to leave alone. That's a merge field. So that's code in the software that's going to populate information that you've already added to the program. So you've already filled out this customer information and this report info. we don't want you to have to type things in twice, and we want to save you time. So I'm going back to my miscellaneous tab, going back to my form. This stuff will auto-populate for you. So don't delete that, keep that stuff in there. The next step that I'm going to show you before we actually start completing the form, I'm going to show you how to set some defaults. We have this button up here that says Set Defaults from Current. You can complete a couple things in this form that basically is going to be the same every single time you open up the form. So you don't have to repeat it every time. You can actually set those values. So every single time you open up the form, those values are there. An example of that would be to scroll down to the bottom of the form, and it's only a few things, you know, inspector title. Let's say we're going to call you Home Inspector. And then license number, you know, so you've got your Fabby 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you've got some kind of license number that you don't want to repeat every single time, and you've got your home inspector title. Those things, you know, it's just 2 things that you can take off your list of things to remember to do. You've got those things filled out. Everything else is blank other than the typical merge fields that you should see. You'll hit this button up here that says Set Defaults from Current. A little window will pop up just saying, are you sure you want to do this? And you'll say yes. Now the next time you open up a form to do a different report, this will be completed for you. So that's how you do the Set Defaults from Current. Right next to that is the customer signature button. If your customer is there, you can simply click on customer signature, and it opens up a little window where they can, you know, take a stylus if you have a Surface Pro or some kind of, you know, tablet, PC combo computer, laptop. Or, you know, if you do have your just normal laptop with you, they can take the mouse and they can, you know, sign their name just fine as well. And if they decide that they don't like it, they can hit clear and they can try it again. So customer signature. Whoop. There we go. That's a crazy looking signature, but you know, I'm artistic, so. So we're going to select OK. Now we have our customer signature. It's going to automatically populate on the form where you need it to go. And we'll move on to actually completing the form. So we've got our client name in here, application policy number, whatever that may be. You just type that in. Can fill out this information just as easy as you think you can. You just go ahead and type. Wherever there needs to be a check in a box, you just take your mouse and select it. And there you go. Again, I'm totally not an inspector, so I don't even know certain things, but you can just, it's as simple as it is. You just take your mouse and select where you need to fill things out, type in where you need to fill other things out. When you get to areas such as other and specify. HomeGauge, you know, we have auto comments, and you can save your own auto comments in HomeGauge so you can reuse them later. Certain areas you might actually have a comment about panels, you know, that you want to specify and you want to use later on. You could use an auto comment here. Another area that might be pretty popular for using auto comments, let's see here, is in the deficiencies area. As you get to the bottom of the report, you know, you've got an active leak, and then you have other, please explain. To use an auto comment, you just put your cursor in the box, and you can create your own auto comment by just typing and selecting create your own auto comment by just simply typing and then going up here and clicking on the old familiar magic wand with the green circle and the plus sign in the middle. If you click on that, it brings up the familiar edit comments window. You can give that comment a quick name if you want, or not. And then once you're done, you can select OK. HomeGauge is going to open up a window where you select where you want to add this comment. I'm going to add this comment under, let's see, we'll add it under failed comments, and we'll say OK. I don't really have a specific category here. That's great. So, all right. So now I've added a new comment that I can use later on. If you want to use a comment that's in your library that you already have, it's as simple as, for example, in the additional comments box, you might have a lot of auto comments to use. You'll just put your cursor there and select the magic wand. Right now I don't have any comments here, but I can build them and I can bring them down. So I can actually go to this go to the plus sign with the T to go to my global list. You know, maybe I have a comment about, I don't know, something. Let's see here. Under the uncategorized, I've got a bunch of different comments over here. Let's see. Here, hazard, very dangerous. We'll add that one. So you'll just highlight it and select OK. And then we'll put an X next to it and insert it as one comment. It brings us to another window where we can just edit it if we need to as well. And there you go, you've got your comment in there. Again, you have to build up your comment library with the forms, but a lot of people do. I know a lot of inspectors that have a pretty great auto comment library for their forms. Over time, you'll just work on building up that library. So right now, we have not a completed form, but again, I'm not going to go into the full details of how to complete it. You should be familiar with this kind of form. If we click on the print preview button, you'll see some of the areas completed that I filled out. And if we scroll down to the bottom, we'll notice it's got my signature there. But we are lacking photos. So, you know, everybody adds pictures to these forms. So the next thing that we can do is add a picture page. To do that, you just click on the orange plus sign again. And then you have your different selections you can make. I will point out, if you run out of room in the additional comments on the actual 4-point form, you can select additional comments here, and it adds a whole nother additional comments page for you to keep going and elaborate on what you're talking about. I'm actually not going to use this for this moment, so I'm actually going to go over here and I'm going to take away this page by clicking on the red minus sign. Do I want to remove this form? Yes. I still have my citizens 4-point. This box, I'll point out, is selected. This attached to report. By default, it's selected, so it's attached to my report. Even though I don't really have a HomeGauge report, it's attached to the attachment page. So that's automatically selected. But when I add a picture page, by selecting picture page and selecting OK, I now am looking at a picture page. It says attached to report as well by default. But I actually want to move that check down to append to previous. When I select append to previous, this picture page is going to fall right after the citizen's 4 points. So it's going to be all the documentation here, and the PDF document is going to roll right into the photos, all within one single document if I select append to previous. So don't forget to do that. The next step is to add photos. There are two ways to add photos. You'll find out which way works best for you. One way is to click this button right here that says click to set picture. And now it says you want to insert an image or a sketch. We're going to insert an image. And we're going to say OK. It opens up my File Explorer where I can navigate to wherever my photos are. And so I can select, OK, this is the image that I want. And I'll select Open. And it takes a second, and we're looking at the front of the house. You can add line, just like the normal HomeGauge photo editor, you can add different things here. A lot of Florida people will use the text feature quite a bit. So to add text to the image, you can hit the T there. I'm actually going to make this a little bit larger. So I hit the T, and I'm going to select that. You can type in whatever you would like to type in here, but we do have some pre-populated words as well that are commonly used. So if you click on this magic wand, you can do things like front elevation. Insert as one comment. There you go. Select OK. This one happens to be in red. That's pretty bold. Maybe I don't like it to be in red. I can actually go over here to the fill, and I can change that a little bit, make it blue, less alarming. Also point out that was changed red, but I can go to my edit default settings, and I can change that text box for every single time I use it to not be red. So I'm going to go to this fill color. I'm going to click on the three little dots here. Now I've got this nice kind of pale blue. And I'm going to select OK. Next time I use the text box, it's going to look like this as well. Once you've added the things that you need to add, you're going to select OK, and it will add that image into the form. You can do the same thing for pictures or sketch number 2. You can do the click to set picture, select an image to insert. We'll say OK. And it opens up a window where we can select something else. And there we go. We've got our image. We can, point out a couple things by using our arrows. Do a little line right here. So that's one way to add photos to your form. The other way is to actually do it via the film strip on the right-hand side. So if you select the camera over here on the right-hand side, you can use this little icon of the folder to navigate to wherever your photos are, and then select OK. And those images will populate on the film strip over here. What you can do is you can go like this. You can just click on the image, and you'll get that little box with the line, or that circle with the line, and then you'll scroll over to the box. When your mouse has a little box with the plus sign on it, that's when you know you're in the right spot, and you can let go, and the image will drop in. I will point out that on certain computers like the Surface Pro, which is really popular in Florida, the placeholder is a little bit different. Like you actually have to kind of hold it up here in order for this little arrow for your mouse with the little plus sign to show up. So just be aware of that for you Surface Pro folks and anybody on a really small laptop screen. You might have to kind of move around your mouse to find the sweet spot in order to drop your image in. And then when you let go, it opens it up in the picture editor here. You can size things down, add your circles and whatnot. And there you go. Simple as bringing it over, adding anything that you need to add, and selecting OK. Okay, so now I've got 4 photos. Every picture page has 6 pictures, slots. So if you need to add more, you can always add more. I'm going to actually fill these slots with a couple pictures really quickly. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to add another picture page. All right, there we go. So we've got a full picture page here, and we want to add more. So what we're going to do is click on the plus sign, select picture page again, and select OK. All right, so now we have a fresh new picture page. Don't forget to go up here and select the append to previous, and then just keep cruising along with your images. I'm going to add a little text box right here. Use the magic wand to use one of the, let's see here, elevation views. There we go. Sure. To bring in different images. And basically just load up your images. Once you have all the pictures that you like, and all the pictures are appended to previous, just double check that they are. Okay, great. Citizens 4-point. If you need to add an additional picture page, you can. Again, it's as easy as selecting the plus sign, selecting another picture page. Maybe that was a mistake. You can remove that picture page by selecting the minus button right there. One tool that you can also use, so let's say you have a 4-point and you have several picture pages. Maybe the second page you actually want to appear first in the report. If you're on this page right here and you want it to actually appear first in line of all the pictures, you can actually select this arrow here and it will move that picture page to the left. So now this picture page will be the first one that shows up. So that's kind of a newer functionality in 5.2 that we added. You can move the pages. You can move them around in different orders using the arrows to the right. Okay, so we'll pretend that our Citizens 4-point is complete and we've got nothing else that we're doing. To send it to your customer, there's a couple ways that you can do that. I'm going to go up here and hit save. Always good to hit save. And then I'm going to click on Citizens 4-point 2012. And then I'm going to click on Print Preview. When I click on Print Preview, it's in a PDF form ready to go. You'll notice when I scroll down, the whole form is there. The additional pictures is all part of the one document, the one PDF document. And just like any PDF document that you're viewing in HomeGauge, up here at the top left corner, you have a little floppy disk. And if you're mailing it to, an insurance person or something like that, you can always just simply click Save As. You might have a specific folder that you want to save these to. So, I'm going to actually select Documents. And then HomeGauge, when it downloads this inspection reports folder as well. That's just a blank empty folder. And it's a great place to store your PDFs if you want to. So I'm actually going to double click on that. And I'm going to rename this 4-point specifically with my customer's name, Fran DeVello. And then I'm going to hit save. So now I have this PDF on my computer, and I can simply just open up my normal email system. I'm going to minimize out of these things for a minute. I can simply just open up my normal email system. I'm in webmail. I can hit compose. And, every email system has a different way to attach files, but I would just select the attach files option here. And there we go. And then I would just kind of navigate to where I saved that document. And there you go. So now that file is attached to this email. I can send it to the insurance person. Sometimes Florida people get insurance people that don't want to use a username and password. This would be the route for you. You can just save it as a PDF and simply email it to your person that's needing the report for the insurance purposes. You can also email it to your customer that way if you want as well. Just put in their email address and hit send. Okay, so that's one way to send it to your customer. The next way to send it to your customer, you can upload it to your HomeGauge dashboard and email it out through HomeGauge. This is a great way to do it because you have tracking. When you email it out through HomeGauge, you can actually tell if the customer opened it, when they received it. You can tell if they forwarded it to a third party. If you email it out through your normal email system, you don't actually know that somebody got the document. So right now we've got the Citizens 4-point completed. Let's say that we're ready to upload it and email it out to our customer, but maybe they decided to tack on a wind mit too. So you went out and did your wind mitigation report, came back to your software. To add a wind mit to the same report, it's just as simple as clicking on the plus sign here, selecting Florida wind mit, selecting OK. Now you've got two forms going on. You've got your 4-point over here with a couple picture pages. You've got your wind mit here. The wind mit says attach to report, and you do want that selected. You've got several things that are going to pre-populate for you, so just make sure to leave everything that has an asterisk as is. And then just complete the report like you normally would by typing in your insurance company, typing in all the information that you normally would for this form, checking things off that you normally would check off, and so on and so forth to complete the form. And again, you are the home inspector. I am not, so you know how to complete this form. It is just the typical Florida wind mit form. You basically finish everything here. I will point out that on this form, you can always do the set defaults from current down at the bottom for typical things like your license type, your phone number, etc. And you want to do that with a blank document, before you actually start completing the stuff specific for that property. So once you're done completing your report here, you'll add your picture page by clicking on the plus sign and then selecting OK. And again, you can either click to set picture or, you can even more easily just do a drag and a drop. Once that you have all your photos added, you can add another picture page if you want. But right now, you've got your Citizens 4-point and your Florida wind mit. Again, you can always click on Florida wind mit. Oh, I want to always make sure my picture page is appended to previous. But if you wanted to save a PDF of your Florida wind mit to your computer separately, you can always do that by selecting the wind mit, selecting print preview. You'll notice as we scroll down, our initials go in there and everything gets pre-populated. Customer signature. And then you've got your photos that roll right into the same document. You can always hit the Save As icon here and save it onto your normal onto your desktop or somewhere on your computer. Change the name so it's specific to your customer or the property address. After you're done that, I mean, you don't have to save it as a PDF onto your computer. At this point, I'm going to show you how to upload it and send it out through your HomeGauge dashboard. A lot of people really love that. So what you would do, and again, this is if you're just doing a WinMit or a 4-point, you would select Upload. Oh, apparently I don't have something filled out. Oh, Florida. Here we go. Now I'm going to select Upload. It's going to say all items haven't been answered, and that's fine. We're just going to say yes to continue. Right now you're looking at your print options. By default, you don't have an agreement or an attachments only print option setting. And I'm going to show you how to set that up. You're going to upload a page that's just the attachments page. And to get an option for that, you just click on this add button right there where it says document name. You can name it whatever you want. Some Florida people actually have several print options available. They'll have one for wind mitigation. They'll have one for 4-point, and then they'll have one that's 4-point and wind mitigation. You can do whatever you want. I like to be simple, so I'm actually just going to do attachments only. That way, it can be used across the board for any kind of attachments I have to upload. The document to be displayed is going to match that, attachments only. I'm going to unselect all the options here and just leave attachments selected. And then I'm going to select OK. You'll see my new document setting right here. I'm going to unselect the full report for upload because we don't actually have a report with this. And I'm going to select OK. All right now we're looking at the attachments page. This is what would get uploaded. You've got your logo here, your information here, and then report attachments. When this is uploaded, your customer would click on the link here and the PDF document would open up for them. So the next step is to click upload. All right, report's been uploaded. Do you want to send notification emails? I will say yes to that. And yes, connects us to our dashboard. It doesn't send the emails right then and there. Just connects us to your dashboard. I'm going to expand the window. I've got the header right here, the Del Boca Vista, and then my attachments only. The next step that I would do, I would hit send emails. And then I would give my agent Susie permission. And I would give my customer permission, and I'd also make sure to give them forwarding permission so that they can forward it on to an insurance agent if they need to. Okay. So that's how you upload your attachment page to your dashboard and send out your emails that way. I'm going to show you what your customer sees when they log in. So let's see here. I'm going to open up a different browser. And we're going to pretend that I'm the agent here. We're going to log in. Okay, so this is my uploaded report. Your agent or your customer would click on View Details. They would see this attachments only. And this is what they would see. And then they've got either of those documents that they can easily just click on, and it will open up that document in the PDF. Depending on their PDF viewer, you know, they've got the printer icon up here where they can print it out, or they can download it and save it onto their computer. Simple as that. Okay. So does anybody have any questions about creating the WinMit or the 4-point in the software, saving it as a PDF on your computer and emailing it out through your own email system, or uploading it as the attachments page and sending it out through HomeGauge? Okay, perfect. No questions. We'll just keep on trucking. So next, if you wanted to add an inspection report, you could. So, you know, you could actually go here. Let's say that there was an inspection report with this. It's as simple as just selecting a template, opening it up, completing your report, and then just doing the same thing as you normally would do. Some people have a different method. They'll actually select the template first and complete the report first, and then go to the miscellaneous tab and add their forms. Whichever way, whatever system you want to use, HomeGauge is flexible. So you just go with whatever works for you. But right now, I'll just show you. We've got our report here. I'm going to go to General Info. And just so it looks real, I'm going to add a cover photo. We're going to add this cover photo. I'm going to select OK. And then we'll pretend that the report is complete, and we're going to hit upload. All items have not been answered. We're just going to say yes because this is an example. And instead of uploading the attachments only, because we already did that, we're just going to actually upload full report for upload or print with pictures. I'm going to say OK. It's going to give us a print preview of our report. If we scroll down, we have an attachments page. So we've got our full report, and then we've got our Citizens 4-point and our WinMit ready to go as part of the report as well. We can upload it and send it out to our agent and our customer, and that way they have everything under one report. Right now, it's going to say, do you want to send notification emails? We'll say yes to that. And now we've got our attachments already has been sent out, and the agents viewed the attachments. Now we're going to actually go and send the inspection report. And we're going to hit send emails. And the customer will now get that, and even though they have it on the bottom of the inspection report as an attachments page, they also have a separate area that they can go to make it a little bit clearer. They can click on the attachments only link too. All right, so the next thing that we're going to talk about, we're almost done here, and I appreciate you guys attending this webinar, but the next thing that we're going to talk about is uploading a manual PDF. So we've actually uploaded the attachments and the inspection report. If I was the agent, this is what I see. HomeGauge.com. I'm going to go to my dashboard here. This is what I see as the agent or the customer. I'm going to click on View Details, and I see these two links here. I've got my inspection report that I can click on, you know, and as I'm reading it, maybe I don't even get to the bottom. Maybe I click on the link, and maybe I don't even see this stuff here, and I'm like, where is everything? I'm looking for the 4-point and the WinMit. What some home inspectors do, they actually manually upload the PDF so it's a little bit more clear to their customer. Their customer might see attachments only. And and they maybe, they still for some reason don't see these links. There's another step that you can do that some people really like that's pretty cool, and I'll show you about. So I'm going to go back to my home inspector dashboard. And let's see here. Okay, so I've got my attachments only, my inspection report here as well. I'm going to do a manual upload. Let's say that the customer and the agent still didn't see the attachments. Some people like to do this no matter what. I've got my inspection report uploaded, and I can click on either of these reports here. The Manage option. When you click on Manage, you get a little menu that pops down, and I'm going to select Manual Upload. When I select Manual Upload, I can upload any PDF document to your dashboard, and you can give viewing permission to your customer. So right now I'm going to actually navigate. I'm going to use the browse to navigate to the WinMit. So I actually saved it under Documents, Inspection Reports, and this is my wind mitigation, and I'm going to select Open. Once you have your file selected, you'll select a document type. So use this little drop-down box to go to wind mitigation. You can scroll down all the way to the bottom and hit upload. You'll notice that all this stuff is pre-populated for you, so it makes it pretty easy. So you just select upload. And now it says upload success. Do I want to return to my list of uploaded reports or upload another report to the same folder? I also have a 4-point I want to upload, so I'm going to select upload another report to the same folder. I'm going to select my browse. After you select browse a second time, HomeGauge is going to kind of remember where you were, so it's not as difficult. And I'm going to select my 4-point and select open. This time for the document type, use the drop down and find the 4-point. It is very important for you to select the document type. So always select 4-point, always select wind mitigation. If it's something else, you can always use this drop down to select other document, and you can type in your custom title here. But this is a 4-point, so we're just going to go there. I'm going to scroll down to upload. And I've got all the documents I want uploaded. I'm going to actually select return to your list of uploaded reports. And now you'll see it's clear as day. I have a specific document that says 4-point inspection. I have a specific document with this cute little leaf that says wind mitigation. I have my inspection report, and I have that original attachments only page that I had uploaded. At this point, you could go into manage and you could select delete, and you could remove that attachments only page if you wanted to. For this example, I'm just going to keep it so you can see the difference of what your customer experiences when they're viewing the different versions. So I'm back to all reports, and I'm going to email this to my customer and give them viewing permissions by hitting send email. I'm going to say yes. Oh, and did you know that if you do this view up at the top, it's a select all. And so it's just a nice quick way to select all the boxes. I'm going to hit send email. Fabulous, my emails have been sent. Now I'm going to actually go to my agent's dashboard. I'm going to go down here to Google Chrome because I had that going on in a different browser. I'm going to refresh my browser so we're looking at all the documents that I just uploaded. So this is what your agent or your customer would see if you did the manual upload. They would see 4-point inspection. Super clear as day. Nobody's going to say, hey, where's my 4-point? I can't find it. There it is. They click on it and it's really direct. It's basically like, hey, here you go, view it as a PDF, bam, or save it as a PDF, and then it downloads onto their computer for them. So that's one great way to do it with the manual upload. A lot of people like that because it is so direct and so obvious. So if you do come across those customers that are having a hard time finding things, the manual upload is your friend. Just in comparison, I'm going to open up the attachments only one more time just so you can see the difference. When I do the attachments page, oops, sorry, you'll see here it's got the links down here for Citizens 4-point Florida wind mitigation. But again, if you click on, let's say, just the wind mitigation, it says it plain as day. Now you have it a little bit more direct when view or save as a PDF. All right, so that about wraps up the Florida forms. There's one quick thing that I do want to point out that some people like to do just to make things a little bit more obvious to their customers. That's the attachment page. So if you go back to your software, go all the way up to the top toolbar and click on Office. Go to Edit Report Docs. You'll find the word Attach. If you click on that, and then select OK, it opens up your attachment page. I do this for a lot of people when I am showing them how to use the Florida forms. I'll actually highlight this general attachment list, and I'm going to increase the size so it's a little bit more obvious to people. You can go up here to heading where it says normal. Why not make it super huge? So there you go. That's just one quick thing that you can do as well to kind of customize the look, make things a little bit easier for other people to see. I'm going to hit the save there, close out. It will ask me to save it again, and that's fine. Now I'll just show you what the kind of print preview would look like of that page. So we've got our full report for upload. And we're about to generate our inspection report. Our attachments page now looks like this, even more obvious. I don't know how anybody could miss that. But there's another little tip for you when using forms with HomeGauge. So we're going to ask David if there's any questions. Okay, so no questions at this time. I hope that was helpful in understanding anything to do with forms in Florida. Feel free to email me or call into support if you have any questions or need clarification on anything. Until next time, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.